Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing some one strokes. This is a little bit different because this is not a flat brush or an angled brush that I'm using. It's something that I seen and I can't remember where it was, but it's using a tiny 3D brush. So how this works, I've just dipped that into water, but it's not dripping. I've just took some of that moisture out, so it's just damp. Don't want this pen to go too runny, so I've got a few colours there. So what you do with this is not that I have to get that clean now, so I'm just gonna get that back to how it was. So I'm gonna go into the white. So you've got to make sure that that white is pretty full on that brush, and then you just take a bit of tissue or a cotton pad and you have to remove the paint from that tip area. So I don't know if you can see that. No, it's come back down. So you have to get it so that there's no white paint on that tip. So once you can see the brown of the brush again, you then dip that the tiniest amount into whatever colour you're going to use. So I'm just going to blend them together on here. I have got my palette, but it's a bit of a mess at the minute, so I thought I would go back to this. Okay, so I'm going to come a bit closer, because every time I do it with camera, I go out of shot. So you put the point on and just press that back, and that gives you a perfect little flower, well, a petal, like that. So that is all I'm going to do on that one. I'm going to leave that there because I never know, I might need to use that. So I have got a pop stick here, so I'm going to do it again just to show you. Let's clean it off. So go into your white. So you don't want it all so you don't want it all the way up the brush, you just want it, because if I did it all the way up, then I'm going to end up with massive petals, unless that's what you're going for. So I'm just going to keep that towards the end. Again, I'm just going to take the tissue and I'm just going to roll that tip area just to remove the white paint from that part. And then I'm just going to dip should I say it, the tiniest amount onto that tip area, and then I'm just going to go on, just let's make sure it's blending and just go in. So depending on how much white you want on that is how far you put your red on. So I am going to go straight onto it. I'm not going to practice on it, I'm just going to go for it. So let's start here. So I'm just going to put that tip on and press that back. Put that tip on and press that back. So this one is basically just the guide for now. Put that on and press it back. If you want it to go a bit bigger, just go back in. But this is just my first coat, so I want to try turn it over, see if that's got any more white on that side. Go back on to ones if I'm not happy. So I don't like how that's done that, so I'm going to go back in a minute and I'm going to remove that. So I'm going to do one here. I'm going to go one here. and one here. So you can see that that has dried out a little bit, but that's not a problem. I'm going to dry that. So what I'm going to do, for ones that I ain't keen on, just going to take a cotton bud. I'm just going to remove that little bit there because I didn't like that bit. Don't want to come off. So it's obviously it's dried. So with some gel resin, I know that'll take it off. There we go. So if there's any I'm not keen on, I'm just going to remove it using that. So the brush might have been a bit too dry last time. So again, I'm going to load that on again so far up. Just make sure that that's pushed in nice. More fingers and thumbs. Go in, remove the white paint from that tip, and then just dip the tip into that red. Just go in and have a little go. Right, so go back onto this. So I'm going to go back over these. Like I says though, if you're not happy with how one of these looks, you can go back in and remove some of that. So again, that might drying really fast today. So I'm going to load it a bit better, a lot more. Go onto my towel here and remove it. I'm not going to mess about as much this time. I'm just going to go straight in. It's better. So I've loaded that brush a lot more this time, especially with that white. So, because there's more on this side now, I'm just going to turn my brush over. Go back in, move that white. As long as you just remove that red on the tip, I don't think it makes a lot of difference when you're going back in. So we'll go. It's better. It's better. Just going to go in and thicken some of these up. Like I said before, flowers are not really all the same sort of shape, so I'm not too fussed to try to get them all the same size. I'm sort of the same, but I'm not too fussed. So I've made them all slightly bigger on this top one. So I'm quite happy with that now. So let me just show you one I did a bit earlier when I was practicing. So this one has got a lot more pink in it. This one is a lot more whiter. So now I've done that, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a leaf. So let me just move that to the side 2 seconds. So for a leaf, I'm going to load my brush up. I'm not going to put any white on. So for a leaf, I'm just going to put the tip on. I'm going to press so it flattens in the middle. Then as I'm coming off, I'm lifting my brush up. Not like that, obviously. So put your brush on, flatten it and pull it up. Put your brush on and then up. So you've got the shape of the leaves. Okay, let's go back in. So I'm not going to put a lot of leaves in, I just want a little bit there, so that's not too hard because it's not a full leaf. So right, so I'm going to put a leaf here. So I'm going to point, flatten, and then pull. You see that? And we'll put one here. So point, flatten, release it up a little bit and then pull it through, and it is giving you the black showing back through in a line. Okay, so with one stroke it always looks better when they have been top coated. It looks a bit dull and not really good at the minute, but we'll carry on. So I'm going to go into yellow with my little dotter, and I'm going to do a few dots in the centre, so I definitely need more paint on there. Just a few, just to show you that that's the middle of this flower, believe it or not. I think I wasn't even in shot then. So that is that bit. And then I'm going to add some white dots just to bring it, give it a little bit of detail more than out. So I'm just going to go in, not going to do anything special, just a few little dots in and there just to make that design come together a little bit more. That bit's done. And then next and last of all, I didn't do it on this one I didn't do any detail whatsoever, but on this one I'm going to highlight the flowers a little bit, and I'm not the best at doing highlighting, I'm a bit too heavy handed. So I'm going to take a fine detailer brush and I'm going to take a little bit of that red, because I don't want it white but I don't want it red either. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to go, might not even show up. I think I did that bit too red. Just going to go around. I mean, this is just going to tidy it up as well. So if you've got some bits that are not perfect, like there's a gap there, so if I just go around that bit, it'll just make that into a circle, or more of a flower shape, should I say. So I'm going to go around this one. I'm just going to go around that top, and then the same on this bottom part. Yep, and then the last part, I'm going to get a bit of the green, a bit of the white, just make a light green. Not too light, but I don't want it white again. Okay, so I'm happy with that. just going to accentuate. Oh, that were a big word for me. Just going to go around those leaves. Right, so I'm going to let that dry completely now while I clean up. No point top coating that until it is 100% dry, otherwise you will smudge everything. So I'm just going to twist it from side to side to make sure there's no shine left on that before I top coat it, and then I'm going to float. So when you're floating, it's basically make sure you brush the bristles and not touching the nail completely. It is just floating over the top. So once I've done that, I'm going to bob that into the lamp. Okay guys, so this is the finished nail. So this is the one I've just done, and this is the one that I did earlier. So as you can see, this one here is a lot smaller, but they're both using the same brush. So just shows you that that one brush you can do little or big flowers. So if I can do this, I am pretty sure that all you guys can that struggle with one stroke. So guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and if you ever practice, let me know, see how you find using a 3D acrylic brush to do some one stroke. But for now, that is it guys. I will see you in my next one.